Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and in Fantastic Four First Steps, why does Ben Grimm the Thing have a beard? I posed what I thought was the answer in our Easter egg breakdown of the final trailer, which, hey, trended on YouTube. Thank you so much. In that video, I started to explain how Ben's rock beard is a reference to 2012's Fantastic Four number 605 by Jonathan Hickman and Ron Harney, which features some time dilation that revisits the slow aging the Thing at future eras of his life. So from that, I wondered if Ben might experience some time dilation in this movie from wormholes or black holes. But since then, Marvel released the full version of a promo that is hilariously scored to Sam and Dave's "Hold on, I'm coming."
One ordinary family
4 astronauts go up into space and come back forever changed.
will become fantastic. On July 25th,
Your planet is marked for death.
We will protect you.
As a family.
their greatest strength
Johnny, quit screwing around!
is each other.
I tell you how to drive the ship, don't tell me how to kill sexy aliens!
Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four. Get tickets now.
Yeah! Now, while this song is something we've come to associate with 90s movie marketing, like trailers for Sinbad's First Kid or Toy Story 2, this song was originally a 1966 soul track that's actually more period specific to a film set in an alternate 1965. It's just that all the other music we've heard associated with this movie is Michael Giacchino's amazing score. But anyway, in this shorter promo, some new shots that I started to talk about in that breakdown, one of them showing the 4 escaping Galactus' ship, Ta-2, and the Silver Surfer as Ben pilots the Excelsior ship away from the Silver Surfer through a wormhole, and then another that I only saw just now showing the moment Galactus' ship, Ta-2, destroys a planet. This one shot and how the Fantastic Four even get here, I think gives some answers to why Ben has his manly rock beard, and give us some insight on what's really gonna happen in this movie. And if you like obsessing over time dilation and time travel in general as much as I do, when you are done with this video, head on over to the Deep Dive channel and check out my nearly 2-hour analysis of Christopher Nolan's Tenet. I actually figured out what the hell is going on in that movie, and I think it's my favorite video I've ever made. At least it's the longest. Okay, we see Ben Grimm's rock beard a few times in the latest trailer, when Johnny flies with him, I guess possessing powerful enough flaming on propulsion to launch this big boy. Then also the shot where he's running alongside Reed and Johnny down the street, and then I think also when he's plowing through the concrete pillars, apparently part of him trying to collapse the building, maybe part of a plan to try to trip up Galactus. We've seen that on his face since the April trailer, and we just missed it. Ben's rock beard is based on 2012's Fantastic Four number 605 by Jonathan Hickman and Ron Harney. In this storyline, Reed Richards teams up with his father, Nathaniel Richards. Not Reed's distant descendant Nathaniel Richards, aka Kang the Conqueror, but rather his father Nathaniel, who became a time traveler himself, who worked in the Brotherhood of the Shield in the 50s alongside Howard Stark, and a guy who got involved in multiverse shenanigans and conflicts with Immortus on his own. But this Nathaniel takes his son Reed on a trip through time to the year 3012, where Reed finds Ben Grimm, who only ages 1 week physically per year, and he's still alive, along with Reed's son Franklin Richards, who as an Omega level mutant and a reality warper is immortal, and he's working alongside Ben in the Future Foundation. Reed and Nathaniel jump ahead to 4012 and then 5012, which is when they find Ben like this with the rock beard. So for Ben to have a rock beard in this movie, it's not like a bit of scruff that would have grown over a couple of days or a couple of weeks to show how Ben has like stopped grooming himself. No, Matt Shackman and Kevin Feige have said they were looking closely at Jonathan Hickman's run of Fantastic Four comics, and I think this beard is a signal that Ben Grimm must have dilated through time. Now, 1,000 years? I'm guessing not. Ben's mind would be pretty scrambled, but you know, maybe a few months or a year, just some smaller amount of time that would be long enough that could be quickly demonstrated by Ben now having a goofy rock beard after he emerges from a wormhole. So I was okay leaving my speculation there until Sam and Dave saying, "Hold on, I'm coming!" And we got some clips of the shots from the CCXP Mexico scene of Ben flying the Excelsior away from the Silver Surfer while Sue is in labor with baby Franklin, and the Silver Surfer is phasing in and out of the ship trying to get the baby. And they all fly through a wormhole while Johnny fires rockets at her in between calling her sexy. And there's a new shot in here that I did not see before, Galactus' ship, Ta-2, in the process of destroying a planet. Now, it's hard to even see what is actually happening in this shot. We are seeing this ship from the side, and we know from the full trailer that this ship is overall in the shape of a giant pill capsule, but with the back end that kind of looks like jagged metallic pieces that are all extending outward, kind of like the string tail of a jellyfish around a glowing orange orifice. And that part is the ship chewing through a planet, boring a hole directly through it, destroying it, which would mean that those stringy parts are kind of like jellyfish or squid tendrils as its mouth latches on and it just kind of chews its way through it. Now, the destruction of this planet, I'm pretty sure, is the same doomed planet that the Fantastic Four ship arrives upon in the past trailer shot, the shot that many of us thought was Earth. I don't think this planet is Earth anymore, but I do think we know the name of it. Proxima Delphi. Did I pull that out of my ass? No, I pulled it from an article in Empire. Proxima Delphi came from a scene description from an article about the Fantastic Four film in Empire. It's a scene in which Reed first discovers Galactus' existence by finding a planet missing from his star charts. The Empire article describes the scene this way. Reed Richards points to a series of holographic star charts and says, quote, "This is Proxima Delphi, a system with a planet similar to our own, which, as you can see, is now gone." There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes of a new Rockstars production that you don't see, and a surprising amount of it is us just talking about food. We have not one, but 2 dedicated food Slack channels. We love food, but when you don't have the time to cook, it can be hard to make sure that the food you eat is food that you love, unless you use Factor. Factor has made chef-made gourmet meals that make eating deliciously and eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to eat in 2 minutes. Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. Factor takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success. You get to skip all the shopping and chopping and instead get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. Factor meals are always fresh, never frozen, and there are over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, and more. I had the veggie tomato risotto a few nights ago and it was really good. Just the perfect level of that tomatoey bite with the risotto to sponge it up. Just really good, and it was ready in 2 minutes. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50Rockstars to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50Rockstars at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Now, you may ask, how could this planet be the one the Fantastic Four witnessed the destruction of if it's already destroyed by the time Reed sees it's missing from his charts? Especially if this planet would be several light years away, and it would take hundreds, if not thousands of years for its light to even reach Earth and to stop reaching Earth. The answer is wormholes, or black holes. I have yet to see which branch of theoretical physics this movie is going to be using to justify its own crazy logic, eliciting what I'm sure will be the absolute rage of Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think this discovery of Proxima Delphi is the only way the Fantastic Four will know where to go out in the cosmos to try to find Galactus on their mission to try to stage a surprise attack on him. A mission that's of course gonna fail. And to get that far out into the cosmos, the Fantastic Four are gonna have to take a shortcut called a wormhole. So a wormhole is a theoretical structure, also known as an Einstein-Rosen bridge, that is describing a theoretical bridge through space-time that bends space-time on top of itself and pokes a hole through the folds, which could be a way we could theoretically travel through space and theoretically travel through time. Now, the Omelette description of the CCXP scene said that Reed told Ben to pilot through a black hole, but I wonder if there might have been something lost in the translation from English to Portuguese back to English. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, folks who speak other languages are also perfectly capable of knowing the difference between a wormhole and a black hole. And in fact, in my experience, it's English-speaking American YouTubers who are less likely to know the difference. But while a wormhole is a theoretical bridge through space-time, a black hole is something actually proven to exist in the cosmos, something we've observed through recorded and transmitted imagery from great distances. It's a region of space-time that is so warped, so dense, that the speed needed for anything to escape it is greater than the speed of light. So that's why it's said that nothing can escape a black hole, even light. The region of space-time around a black hole is called the event horizon because it's the horizon beyond which we are incapable of seeing anything and don't even know if anything happens. Therefore, we have no idea what happens inside of or on the other side of a black hole. Objects seen to approach black holes experience what's called spaghettification, in which they stretch into a very, very thin line. And yes, spaghettification is the same term that we saw used in the Time Variance Authority's temporal core in Loki season 2, and who knows, maybe there's a connection there. But in Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, characters go through both a wormhole and a black hole. The whole crew first goes through a wormhole near Saturn in order to travel to distant galaxies, and it looks like a bending of space around their craft, similar to what we see in this Fantastic Four promo footage. Later in Interstellar, Cooper goes through a black hole and crosses the event horizon, entering an artificial construct called a Tesseract that looks three-dimensional to a human like him, but was actually created by fifth-dimensional bulk beings from the future that I theorized in my deep dive analysis could have actually been AI derived from humanity, descendants of Tars and Case and Kip, who created this Tesseract and docked it through space-time back at Earth in the past so that Cooper could connect to his daughter at that point in time. This theoretical physics was consulted upon by Kip Thorne, who helped Christopher Nolan even conceive what a black hole could look like up close like that. But I think in Fantastic Four we are seeing a wormhole, not a black hole, because it wasn't the black hole itself that allowed Cooper's time travel, it was the Tesseract placed inside of it. Wormholes are really the bridges through through space-time. And in fact, Einstein-Rosen bridges were brought up in Thor Ragnarok, and anytime we saw characters traveling from one point in the galaxy to another, and arguably even through the hexagonal UNTN grid, they are going through wormholes there. But not the kind of wormholes that would take you through time, but rather just through space. So I think the Fantastic Four are going through a wormhole to go back in time to the moment of Proxima Delphi's destruction, and that's what they see from their ship. And later, I think it's going to be a recreation of a wormhole that they're going to use to try to teleport Galactus away from Earth, and at some point, Ben will be the test pilot to go through that, and as proof that it works, he's going to come back out of it with a rock beard to demonstrate his time dilation. Like Cooper in Interstellar, or like Charlton Heston in Planet of the Apes, he's going to be an astronaut who time dilates and comes back with a big beard. You could also think of Ben's rock beard as Scott Lang's time heists in Avengers Endgame, like when he comes back as an old man and then comes back as a baby. The rock beard could serve as evidence of a kind of quantum entanglement that way, but rather just coming from space travel. But the result is the same, an absolute win. Comment down below with your thoughts, and a special thanks to one of our YouTube members, Marisa Miranda, who supports us at the executive producer level. Follow me at EA Voss and subscribe to all the channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.